My name is Dylan Haddad. I am a SOC analyst at PLS Financial Services. For a little over a year now, about a year and 3 months, so yeah. I found it very useful in our day-to-day operations with monitoring user activity and looking at system analytics and system performance. Found it very useful when investigating threats like IPs, seeing what's going on with our endpoints, like certain lateral movement that we've noticed. Definitely found it very useful when looking at, like say for example, a compromised host or a suspicious IP has been scanning us. And I've definitely found it very useful when looking at some of the, let's say if I look at a log, it'll give me a detailed drill down of all the information that's needed on what the rating is and the rating of the threat and what actions should be taken. It gives us, my team, a better idea of what we should do in terms of improving our security posture. I definitely would say looking at the logs and how much detail each log has when it is ingested into our dashboards. Found it very useful when looking at, like say for example, what emails are inbound and outbound of our networks. I like how detailed oriented the logs are in terms of like what's the origin of what network it's coming from and I also like how basically how detailed the logs give us in terms of like what host, what user it's coming from. I just think it's, it's my very first SIEM, so far so good. I have a pretty cohesive understanding of what like a threat intelligence looks like in terms of reviewing the what we have to deal with. Yes, on a daily basis. Every day when I look at event logs, I always use the filters on certain time ranges, certain AIE engine rules, and yeah. I'd say overall it's have a very positive impact. It helps us expedite certain security incidences very quickly because how detail oriented the logs are. I'll say it overall, it really helps me report to my supervisor on whenever like we have a threat, for example, like someone's trying to scan us. My boss will ask me, hey Dylan, can you look at this further? I'll go ahead and I'll use the searches and I'll use the lists that LogRhythm console has to offer, and I will, within a matter of maybe like a very a timely fashion, I can get back to him with detailed or with more details on what the threat is. So yeah. Yeah, definitely it has. Yeah. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say probably 7. Yes. For an example, if we have a user who's traveling overseas, or we get a suspicious login from VPN from a country that we're not familiar with, that definitely gives us the ingest logs and some of the, like the SIEM has overall given us a better comprehension of what type of activity that really is, and helps us exclude whether if it's really benign or legitimate. In terms of managing workflows, I would say it definitely has given us leverage on what our overall security posture is and what we need, and gives us a better understanding of what we need to focus on more in terms of what threats are persisting. I think that overall that our workflows have been pretty seamless so far, and on the day-to-day operations, I would say that maybe yes, maybe we look for more improvements with automation, but so far so good. With terms of static manual investigations, I would say our workflow is pretty seamless. I would say that overall visibility, it gives us, I mean, we don't see all the blind spots, but it gives us enough understanding of that, it gives us enough information to where we can actually classify the threat. But in terms of blind spots, I mean, I think we are looking for more improvements in that, because we don't have visibility over everything, because right now we just use LogRhythm for our on-prem solution, not our cloud solution. So I definitely think that we can definitely use some more improvement with that for the next products. I would say ingesting logs into the web console user interface, probably updating the threat intelligence database so that because we get a lot of noise and oftentimes we see a lot of false positives, so possibly using like AI or machine learning, like with one of the breakout rooms I was attending, probably implementing that more into the next product so that we can actually determine whether, okay, is this threat a false positive or is it legitimate? Overall, it's had a very positive impact. I would say it gives us a good visibility of what we need to see for right now. And it definitely gives us, like I said, a better understanding of what we deal with, what we should focus on in terms of what threats are more critical than others. And I would say in terms of our daily operations, it's very helpful. Yeah, it's definitely, it's given us what we need for now in terms of efficiency. I mean, we're looking to improve our efficiency in our next, as we look into what LogRhythm has to offer for its newer products. But yeah, I would say it's pretty efficient. Yeah, I would say overall, like you wanted to give a scale of 1 to 10, I would say probably around 8 or 9 in terms of efficiency. I mean, my immediate coworkers in my department were able to use what we have right now for looking at critical alerts, looking at user analytics, and overall IT operations. So I would say in terms of like, because we usually have a daily operations of looking at all user activity throughout our organization. So we definitely think so far it's pretty robust. But again, we are looking for more improvements. Definitely say that they don't understand cybersecurity, because I mean, a SIEM is what allows SOC analysts like myself to be successful. If without a SIEM, I mean, how can we see everything? We can't. Excellent service and technical support. They're very prompt with getting back to our team regardless of what the severity of the incident is, and I overall have had a great experience with this so far. Definitely like a 9.5 to 10, definitely. I think it's, in terms of using it for on-prem, very stable. I mean, granted there are some hiccups we have here and there, but that's what we reach out to tech support for, and that's when they're able to provide us with immediate support, and they're willing to really put in the effort in figuring out what the causation of the problem is until it's fixed in a timely fashion. So yeah, it's really good. I think the scalability is, so far, it's very robust, and I feel like, personally, I look forward to hearing about what its the latest LogRhythm products can do in terms of using it for on-prem and in cloud. So yeah. Overall, 10 out of 10.